Alright, so as you all know recently, Jschlatt recently did a video on the chips that he thought were the best. And so I looked at this video, right? And I thought to myself, this is completely wrong. This is all wrong. Jschlatt, I love you, man, but come on. You're wrong. You're just wrong. So I thought to myself, okay, well then maybe I can make my own tier list since I disagree with him so much. And I can show him what chips are really good. He did my Doritos dirty, man. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to be ranking some chips, and I'm going to be showing everyone what chips are really the best. Alright, so first up, Bugles. Highly overrated. Honestly, whenever I put this thing in my mouth, I feel like I have 5 batches of grease put in there as well. I'm going to put this in the D tier, because honestly, I just can't stand Bugles anymore. The only time I can actually eat a Bugle is if it's in a Chex Mix, and that's it. Other than that, I just can't do it. Next up, Burritos. This is probably one of the best chips ever made. I think Jschlatt was right about this one. It's really good. I love Fritos. I think they're a perfect chip. They're great for parties. You know, they're just amazing overall. For Fritos, I'm going to put them in a solid B tier. I think they're great, especially the chili cheese ones. Next up, we have Pringles, the original. Nothing, and I mean nothing, beats Pringles. They are amazing. Every time I have one, I feel like God is just giving me a high five and a fist bump and saying, good job, you chose the right chip. Solid S tier for Pringles. Oh, by the way, I would also like to add that there are some chips on here that I have not tried, and for those ones, I'm just going to be putting them in the C tier to make it even. Alright, next up, Funyuns. These things make me sick. There's no other way to put it. They actually make me sick. Like, I don't get why anyone likes Funyuns. If you like Funyuns, you're an abomination. What are you doing with your life? F tier, right away. Alright, next up, Lay's Classic. I agree with Jschlatt on this one. They are way too greasy. Honestly, I can't stand them. That being said, though, they are way better than Funyuns, and I would say better than Bugles. So actually, I'm gonna put Lay's in D and then switch Bugles to E because I think that's better. Alright, Smart Food Popcorn, White Cheddar. This stuff is really good. Every time I have like a movie night with my family or friends, I always get this. It's pretty good. I'm going to say it's up there with Fritos, but not quite Pringles. I don't think anything could match up to Pringles right now at this point. Tostitos, great chip. Amazing for dipping in queso, salsa, guacamole, you name it. I'm going to give this one a solid A tier, because even by themselves, they're really good. They have just the right amount of salt. I think they're just a great chip. Pringles Sour Cream. That's it. There's nothing else to be said. Alright, Ruffles Original. I like this chip a lot. I do think it's greasy, real greasy, but I still like the taste of it better than Lay's. So that's why I'm gonna give it a C, because I think it's pretty good. If it didn't have so much grease, then I'd give it probably a B or an A, but nowhere near Pringles. Baked Lay's. This chip is amazing. I don't care what you say. S tier, right away. Alright. Now it's time for the controversial part. Hot fries. I can literally feel Jschlatt outside of my house right now with a crane and the monkey statue with the big balls just hovering above my house, ready to crush me as soon as I post this video. Yeah, hot fries are like definitely an F. I'm sorry, but they're just bad. Like, they barely have any taste, and the taste that they do have, it has a terrible aftertaste. On top of that, they're pretty greasy. I just don't like them. I don't think that, like, it's just terrible. Stacey's Pita Chips. Now, this one is a pretty controversial one because a lot of people think they're way too plain. Other people think they're amazing. For me, though, I'd say it goes in the F tier, honestly. I am not a big fan of Stacey's chips at all. I just don't like pita chips in general. I think that's why. I know my mom likes them a lot, so. Veggie straws. Amazing. Anyone who doesn't like veggie straws, what the hell is wrong with you? A tier. I just wish you could drink out of them. Actually, I should try that. Next up, Cape Cod Chips. I think it's a good chip, but they are extremely greasy, and also they have weird shapes, and they're kind of like hard to chew. So I think I'm going to give it an E, because the redeeming quality is they make good sea salt and vinegar chips, so that's good. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go through all the Lay's flavors right now just so I can get them out of the way because I can't stand looking at them at this list anymore because they're just giving me eye cancer at this point. Barbecue Lay's. Very solid chip. Definitely a solid C tier. Sour cream and onion. Terrible. Even worse than the original. Definitely going an F. Sea salt and vinegar. It's decent, but nowhere near as good as like the sea salt and vinegar Cape Cod chips. So definitely going an E. Cheddar and sour cream. Honestly, I don't have a problem with these chips. I think they're pretty good for the most part. I'm gonna go ahead and put them with Ruffles and Lay's barbecue because they're honestly pretty good. Ruffles cheddar. Okay, so this is actually a really solid chip. I think they're pretty great, so I'm gonna go ahead and give them a B tier. Cheetos, the classic crunchy kind. Definitely an A tier. Cheetos, you can't go wrong with them. Flamin Hot Cheetos, S tier. Amazing snack. Cheeto Puffs. This one, I would say, is worse than the normal Cheetos and worse than the Flamin' Hot. So definitely gonna go into the D category just because they're not terrible, but they're also not good per se. Cheetos Extra Flamin' Hot. I really don't have a problem with these. I think they're just as good as the Flamin' Hot Cheetos, so I'm gonna put them in S tier. Doritos Nacho Cheese. This is possibly one of the greatest chips ever made. I think that whoever made this has been blessed by God. He truly has the power to make an amazing chip so good that it gives me wet dreams at night. Definitely an S tier. Doritos Cool Ranch. Honestly, they're not bad, but they're not super good. I'm gonna give them a C. Pringles Scorchin'. All trash. All the Scorchin' Pringles are trash. They're just terrible. They're not spicy. They barely have enough flavoring on them to even taste it. Sour cream and onion Sun Chips. Also an F. Very bad. Terrible. Sun Chips Garden Salsa. I think this is an amazing chip. They did it really well. Going with a C. Sun Chips Cheddar. Better than the Garden Salsa. Going up there with the Cheetos and the veggie straws. Very good chip. Takis. I think this is a great snack. Incredible, actually. These things are so good. They're super spicy. They always leave you wanting more. I mean, they're just top tier chip. Takis Blue. They taste good, but why'd you have to make them blue? Yeah, why did you? Turbos. Never tried these. C tier. 3D Doritos. Again, never tried these. C tier. Alright, moving on. Dill Pickle Pringles. Ass. Completely ass. Every time I bite into one, I feel like I'm biting into a cum sock from a few years ago. F tier, right away. Pringles Ranch. Not amazing, but not insanely bad. E tier. Pringles Sea Salt and Vinegar. Honestly, I hate them. F tier right away. Cheddar and Sour Cream Pringles. Now, I've never tried this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the C tier. Cheddar Cheese Pringles. Amazing. Amazing chip. It's gonna go up there with Fritos and the Ruffles. The Ruffles Cheddar. Original Sun Chip. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of these. I'd say they go down with E, because they're not super terrible or anything. But they're also not incredibly bad, so E. Alright, so I didn't actually try these until recently, and to be honest with you, I'm not disappointed. They're actually really good. They're called Popcorners. They're pretty good. They're like, if you combine popcorn and a corn chip into one thing, that's what you get. It's like a corn chip had a baby with a piece of popcorn. It's just amazing. White cheddar. The white cheddar version is pretty good. I'd definitely give it a solid C tier. Sea salt. Now, this one, on the other hand, is not so good. I'm going to give it an F tier, to be honest. This is where it gets good. The kettle corn flavor is so good. So good. I just want to get the fucking Doctor Strange amulet and go back in time and eat it again and again and again every time I have one of these. Definitely A tier. Alright, Doritos Spicy Nacho. Honestly, an insanely great chip. Definitely gonna go into the A tier. Alright, and then Doritos Chili flavored. These are insanely good as well. Honestly, I compare them a lot to Fritos because I just love Fritos, the chili kind, so definitely putting it with Fritos. And finally, this.